Hello, welcome back to my channel. For you who are new here, I'm John, CIO and the founder. You can check out the description section to know more about me. So in this video, I want to give you the total 6 types of people you should avoid, because you know what? Our life is so much important that we really pay focus and really meet and invest our valuable time and asset and effort with the right type of people. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 6 types of people you should significantly avoid, and if you see them, you're meeting them, and these are like a red flag for you to easily to filter people out who should not add value for your life, because they're not going to add value anyway. You want that, right? Because you want to make the best use of your day, right? So let's get started. After working like last 15 years in IT field, this is what I realized. What is IT? Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
So let's give a big hand to these student leaders to bring the training to you. Why don't you give them a big hand to them?
The type number 1 people who actually meet but don't do. So it came to my personal life. It's quite a while ago. I met a people from Amazon. That guy was like a pretty hefty and interesting role. And before that, he also worked with me in another organization. And we met him and we have a coffee. He promised a lot of things he wants to do. He wants to do a lot. He wants to connect me a lot of people. And we figured out that there's so many things we could do, but what happened that after the meeting, even he told me that to summarize everything and send it to him in the email and also in the messenger, which I did. But after that, he never get back to me. He actually never texted me as well too. So these are the thing it's about. And after that one, what I did this way, I also did not text him after that too. I just texted him 1 or 2 times, but then this one. You gotta have to understand that there is some sort of people who are your client and there's some sort of people who are your friends, right? So I took this person as my friend, and that person never come back to me, so I understand this person actually not my friendship material. So I just moved that person out of my friend zone. So this is why you have to pay really attention. The people who you really want to be friends, if you meet them and they don't really spend time with you after giving what they really promised in your meeting, so they are not your friends. So you really need to sort out these people out. These are the people you should not spend time with. All right. The type 2 people you should really avoid. These people actually, you meet them, you talk to them, and you listen to them, and then what happened? They speak. This type of people even actually worse than the first type, and then they will never do what they actually promised to do. They told you that they're going to connect you something, they're going to give you something, they're gonna give you a proposal in next 1 week of time, they're going to connect you with some kind of people, they will come back to you with some kind of idea which you agreed on. They agreed on to give you some kind of invitation to join their projects, but they don't. They completely forget about that again and again. Not only 1 time, 2 times. These are the people who are going to be a really time waster for you, because every time you meet them, you get a lot of false perception, and that will waste a lot of time for you and your positivity and create your disappointment. And that's exactly the thing you don't want to do, because you want to make the best use of your time, right? So you can add value and take forward and create some impacts. So this is the type 2 you should really avoid. The type 3, these are the people who often people get into wrong thing. This is like called toxic relationship. We know that this is really bad, but sometimes we really put our heart really forward rather than brain and really find the right balance, and that's how it becomes a big problem for our life and love. Because having a toxic relationship is a terrible thing, because it's going to be a continuous burning energy for your life and your positivity in your life, so you will not be able to do what you need to do. And those kinds of toxic relationship will always drag you to something and make you do something else which you should not be doing, and will spend a lot of completely waste of matters will get you involved, and you slow you down, because it's just basically poisoning you. Just think about it. A snake bites you and you get yourself poisoned, and you cannot, and you just slowly dying. So you really understand that when you have this kind of toxic relationship, you need to get out of it. The type 4 you really should pay attention. It's called people have a bad attitude. Every time you talk to them, it's not about they're just angry with you. Every time you met them, every time you talk to them, you lose your temper. Every time you listen to them and you talk to them, they lose their temper with you. Like an example, you will meet these kinds of people. They're like, everything they need to do, they have to argue first. They need to fight, and then they figure out a common ground. I mean, these kind of people are probably good at some kind of creating or mod work or labor work, they're fine. But when it comes to an execution level, or you are an entrepreneur trying to solve a particular problem, you're an executive, trying to trying to create some impact in a corporate world, those kinds of people are going to slow you down and destroy your mood and your positivity and will not let you do, because after getting that kind of bad mood, it takes for a while for you probably. Even you are like a fastest growing, like you are like a Wolverine, it's going to take you 10, 15, 30 minutes to get back to you. And that's your waste, because that 30 minutes you could use for a really positive manner, so you can create something impactful. So that's why you need to avoid people who has bad attitudes, so you can actually protect your good mood and positivity and create big impact by constantly being progressive forward, right? The type 5, the people you should really avoid. These are the people, it's called, always you meet them, they always have something to sell you. It's not about just an idea. Somebody is trying to sell you an idea. Somebody trying to sell you a project, it's fine. But somebody is trying to really sell you something for monetization value. Like an example, they're trying to sell you a course, they're trying to sell you a pen, and where you need to pay the money for it. And you will see these kinds of people available a lot in social media, and there's a lot of people also in a conference. There will be a lot of people even in internet, in YouTube, probably the video you're watching, there is an ad coming on, they're trying to sell you something. So you got to be really paying attention that these kinds of people are always trying to sell you, they're trying to take something out of you, a monetization value, but what value they give it to you. I'm never against the people who are selling the courses. I'm not against them, but you need to pay attention that if you have full of sell around you rather than who actually bring value to you, you are in big trouble. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, this tip number 5, to avoid people who really constantly looking to sell you. Now the 6th type of people you should really avoid. So these are the people who are the party people. These party peoples are really go to party all the time, like 3 times, 4 times parties. I mean, there's nothing wrong to be partying around and drinking a lot. For them, but for you, it's important because you're a professional probably, so you have to get your career forward. So you gotta be really rest, because you've been spending like hours, like 7, 8, or 10 hours for your job, and then when you get out of the job, you need to have some enough rest. But if you have such kind of people, it's gonna drag you to a lot of parties as well too. So this is why it's very important that when the people, like the people you spend most amount of time, you become one of them. So that is why I'm saying that one. You gotta be careful. If your companions are a lot of party people, they will drag you to a lot of parties, and that will not let you enough rest to be actually, or even give you enough time for your personal development, for your career, or even entrepreneurship, the project you really need to push forward. You cannot do this one, and that's why you will be losing a lot of time. So make sure that your party people's too much. I mean, there is no problem going to a party once in a week or twice in a month. You should do it for your relaxing period, but be very careful about these kinds of people, because they can really bring you to parties like 3, 4 times in a week even, and that will slow you down significantly. The 7th type of people you should really have avoiding about. So these are the people who actually don't like you, but you really need to pay attention here. It's not just don't like you. The people who don't like you and why they don't like you. These type of people who don't like you because they are deep dive inside, they're jealous about you. And these people are really dangerous, because when you even try to convince them and not to like you, or don't try to become their friends, you will be spending a lot of time of your day and your life trying to convince them to like you, and that will most likely, almost certain period of time, it will not going to happen, and you will end up losing a lot of time. So the people who really don't like you or jealous about you, don't spend time with them, just ignore them. Focus on your own personal development and on your life development, your goal development, and move on. And that's where you can be able to be successful in your career. So that's why these are my 7 takeaways, which you should not spend time, should not become their friends as well too, and avoid these 7 types of people to go where you need to go. If you have any other questions about this one, go ahead and comment below. I would love to give you an answer. If you are out there and have more tips about it, go ahead and comment your tips as well. I would love to interact with you. And this is what it is. You are professionals or you're an entrepreneur. You have a mission. Go ahead, meet the right people, spend time with the right people so you can become successful. All the best.